Believe it or not, there's a few things that we can do within the first couple of weeks of our small group that'll mess it up. I'm confident as small group hosts that we really mean well. Some of these may not be as obvious as you might think. So let me just give you some advice on some things not to do in the first few weeks of your small group. One, don't start off by coming to the small group and confessing your deepest challenges and your deepest sins. We want our small groups to grow to that point, and it's great when you can, but that takes time, and it's not going to happen in just one small group meeting. Another thing you want to avoid in the first small group meeting is don't demand that people open up and share their whole life all in one night. Give them time to get to know you. Take time to get to know them. If you demand that they open up and share everything all at once, it's really going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to kind of push people away. It's not a good way to begin making connections. Another thing you want to avoid in your small group, right off the bat at least, is don't be overly emotional. If you're like me and you're the type of person that cries at every Hallmark movie, kind of tone that down just a little bit. Let people begin getting to know your heart. This can be intimidating at times to someone. Another thing you want to avoid is avoid bringing business into the small group. What I mean by that is don't invite people to your small group that it's kind of like hey, you want to come join my multi-tier, network marketing? What would you do with an extra $5,000 a month? Great business deal. I'm sure what you're doing is wonderful and it's great, and you want people to be a part of it. But we're a small group. We're about coming together to engage in God's Word. We're about making relationships. As a matter of fact, avoid business altogether. Along with that, something you want to avoid is don't bring politics into it. It's not safe to assume that everyone shares the same political ideals. This is one of those things that will really mess up a group really quick. Besides, we're coming together to talk about God's Word, not to create laws. We're a small group, not a political action committee. Now, I know some of these may not be as obvious as you may have thought, but some of these things can really kill your group early on. Now, I know without a doubt that God's going to use your group greatly to impact your life and the lives of those that's coming to the small group, and I'm excited to hear what God's doing through your group.